Hi, I'm going to show you a technique called toning. So what is it? Well, it's when you use a bronzer or a warmer color to fill in and tone areas that are lighter than the surrounding area. The reason why we do this is actually darken lighter areas instead of trying to lighten darken areas. The contrast is so much less. Many of us have under eye darkness, discoloration on our eyelids. We may have darkness around our nose, redness, sunspots, melasma. I'm going to use a cream bronzer and I'm going to tap in with a small brush just a little bit. And looking at my face, the first biggest distraction I see is right here around my eyes. And you may notice that as well. This pocket of fat is really light and it's protruding out. So I'm going to come in and apply a bit of bronzer to darken that area so it matches more closely the melasma. And it's also much lighter here under my brow bone compared to the melasma on my eyelid. So let's go ahead and just lightly tap and blend the bronzer around those areas, pressing it in. Stand back, and do you notice the difference? There's a lot less distraction of the color that's on my eyelid without me even trying to lighten or filter that out. Let's address the under eye. If you have skin tone that's much lighter, almost like a ring around your eye, and then underneath your eye is much darker, instead of trying to lighten and brighten up the under eye, let's go ahead and tone the lighter area. So tapping in again to a bit of cream bronzer, and I'm going to lightly apply it under that area that's already dark. Can you see the difference between this eye and here? The distraction of the under eye darkness in the inner and the outer and a bit under it's so much less of a distraction once we've toned around that darker area to warm it up. Let's address larger sunspots or areas of melasma. This is much darker than the surrounding skin tone. So let's do the same thing. Take a little bit of a bronzer and we're going to apply around the actual sunspot and then lightly feather that out into the surrounding skin. We don't want to darken the sunspot and we don't want to darken up our skin tone too much around it. We want to soften those edges by darkening up the surrounding skin tone. If you have rosacea or redness on the tip of your nose or around your nose and it's much lighter at the top and maybe lighter around here, we can do the same thing. We'll tap into a little bit of the bronzer and we're going to just lightly feather in the areas surrounding the redness, toning areas of your face that are much lighter with a cream bronzer before you start applying your color correctors or your concealers or your foundation is going to, one, lessen the distractions. Two, you'll layer and use a lot less makeup to try to lighten areas that are already dark. And three, the bronzer will provide a nice underglow to your makeup. This side here, we've toned the lighter shades that are closer to darker distractions. And over here, we haven't done anything. Let me know in the comments if you can see the difference. Around, I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to finish my full face of makeup with Seint 3D foundation so you can see the difference when you first tone lighter areas that are surrounding darker distractions. Comment match, and I'll help you switch to this makeup I use. That's not only evened out my skin tone, changed the condition of my 57-year-old skin, but it's given me a radiant glow I never thought possible at this age.